In my last video, I shared the 6 habits that help me not only make daily life easier to manage, but help me to be more organised, get more done, and feel healthier and happier too. This video is part 2, and in it, I reveal 6 more habits to make life less stressful and more enjoyable that you can try too. Habits that will help you take better care of yourself, banish chaos, and restore calm and order to home life. Want to know what they are? Keep watching. Hey there, I'm Sarah Jew, Master Life Coach, founder of A Simple and Contented Life, and your mentor for making a change for the better. For the best advice and tips of stepping out of a life on autopilot and into one of purpose, so that you can become your best self and live your best life, make sure that you subscribe to my channel and hit that notification button so that you are the first to know and can keep up to date with all of my latest videos. So, how healthy are your habits? Are they helping you to become the best version of yourself and create a life you love? Or do you have a few bad habits that you would rather get rid of and you're not sure which are the best habits to replace them with? Well, that is what this video is all about. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, make sure that you watch that too, because they are the first 6 habits that I highly recommend that you start with to kickstart making a change for the better, and then build on from there with these 6. You'll find the link below to watch that one too. So habit number 1 is to make your own well-being a priority. We can't expect our phones to continue working unless we recharge them, nor can we expect our cars to keep going unless we refuel them. But the same goes for us too. We can't expect to function at our best unless we've given ourselves time to relax and recharge. So, kicking off then with the most effective way to improve your life is to make your own well-being a priority. We can't pour from an empty cup, so allow time for you and don't feel guilty about it. There is nothing more selfless than making self-care a priority, and we owe it to ourselves and the ones we love to take care of ourselves first so that we can be a better wife, a better mum, a better friend, and just better for ourselves too. So make a list of all of the things that make you happy and that help you to unwind and relax, and then try to incorporate at least one of them into your day. If you struggle to make time for yourself every day, then aim for 2 to 3 times a week and build up from there. But it's so important that you make time for yourself, and whatever you do, do not feel guilty about doing it. You deserve it. Okay, habit number 2 is to track your spending. One of life's biggest stressors is money. Telling your money what to do and where to go is key if you want to improve your life. If you regularly get to the end of the month and you wonder where your money has gone, you will really benefit from tracking your spending. I have been doing this for a good 3 or 4 years now, and the difference it makes in not only making sure that I'm budgeting and allowing for the things that I need to allow for, whether it is paying bills or making sure that I've got birthday presents in time, all of those things, it makes such a massive difference of keeping sane. And by controlling what you're doing and tracking your spending, you're able to rein things back if needed as well, especially if you've got things coming up in the next few months that you know you need to allow for. By tracking your spending, you can see where you can pull things back so that you can temporarily transfer the money to something else that you need. So first, figure out what your fixed outgoings are each month. Things like your mortgage or your rent, utility bills, food, fuel, etc. Deduct that from what you bring home so that you know what you have left. Then spend a month writing down every purchase you make and review it to see where your money goes. Check in once a week to make sure that you don't go over budget. And then as the month goes on, you'll see where you're making unnecessary purchases and where to rein things in if needed. If you want help, I have a couple of posts that will help you to do this, of how to stay on top of your finances and how to actually figure out and budget where your money is going each month. You'll find the links to those below the video. So habit number 3 is cooking from scratch. I already mentioned in my previous video that one of the habits that I like to do is to plan my meals week in advance so that I know what I'm cooking and I'm not worrying about what's going on for, come 5 o'clock, what am I going to cook again? So you can take it another step further by actually cooking from scratch. So it's so much better for you than just using processed or prepackaged foods. For starters, you know exactly what's going and not going into your dinner. Second, it's healthier because you have control over the ingredients and the calories and the portion sizes. Third, it saves you money and it makes life easier for you, especially if you double the amount, because then that's lunch for tomorrow or something that you can put in the freezer for another day. Cook with as many fresh ingredients a day as you possibly can. Prepare everything yourself instead of opting for the ready-made versions, and make sure that you're making your sauces too instead of reaching for all of the jars. A lot of those jars are so high in sugar and salts that don't need to be in there, and by making them yourself, like I said, you know exactly what is going in them. And if you've got kids that are fussy with their meals, you can chop up and puree up all kinds of vegetables and hide them in the sauces, and they never know. If cooking from scratch doesn't come easy to you, then start off easier by doing it just for 2 or 3 nights a week until you get into the swing of things and you find a few meals that you can do, and then build on from there. And then, like I mentioned in my last video too, is to take advantage of your freezer and your pantry and to stock from there and then shop from there first before you hit the stores. It makes things so much easier and you really will thank yourself for it. Your wallet will thank you, your waistline will thank you, and your clock will thank you too. So comment below this video, what are your daily habits like? What good habits do you have and what bad habits do you want to drop? Let me know in the comments. Habit number 4 is to unplug 1 hour each night before bed. So do you find it hard to settle come bedtime? If yes, it could be all to do with how you are spending that last hour before you go to sleep. If you're still working or you're still watching TV or scrolling through Facebook, that could be the reason you're finding it hard to get to sleep. We all need time to wind down and clear our thoughts and our minds and relax so that we can actually find it easier to go to sleep. But if we're busy right up until we go to sleep, and before we go to bed, our brains are still buzzing and we're still thinking of all the things that are going on in our minds and thinking about what's going on tomorrow and all the things that we need to have to do and remember. And it just can be really, really difficult to switch off. So improve your life and get a decent night's sleep by adopting the habit of unplugging an hour before you go to bed. When I do this, I sleep so much better. Not only do I get a better night's sleep, I'm less likely to wake up during the night, and I find it easier to switch off. I'm not laying there thinking about all of the things that I've just been doing because I'm still wired. Unplugging tells your body it's time to unwind, that it's the end of the day and that it is time to start thinking about and preparing for bed. Spending that hour doing something to unwind and relax yourself, something that gives your mind time to wind down, can really help you to just relax and get into that zone of where your body starts to recognize that it's time to be going to bed very, very soon. So turn off the TV and read instead, or pour yourself and run a nice long hot bath. Just sit and listen to music, maybe sit and read and journal. Do something that is not connected to devices, not connected to the TV, and definitely not scrolling through Facebook. Do whatever works for you, but find something that will help you to unplug and disconnect for that last hour before bed. But in order for it to work, you have to have a set bedtime. So in the previous video, one of the habits that I shared was adopting a proper bedtime. And there is a good reason for this, because once you know what time you're going to bed, you can then work backwards for that last hour beforehand to make the most of and help this habit to work. My next habit to help you uplevel your life and create a life you love is journaling. Journaling is by far one of my most favorite habits. And not only is it a great way for me to get to know myself better and figure out what makes me happy and what's going on in my life and what to do about it, but it's a great stress buster too. Offloading your thoughts onto paper and not having them whizzing all around your brain is incredibly freeing. And one of my favorite advantages from it is that over time, when you go back and you reread through all of the things that you have written, you begin to see patterns and you notice thought processes and behaviors that are cropping up time and time again. And from those, you can figure out what you need to work on, what you can need to scale back on, areas that you want to improve on, etc. It is incredibly freeing and powerful by sitting down there with just a notebook and pen and just writing whatever comes to mind. And sometimes, I'll admit, I don't even know what I'm going to talk about. And I just sit there going, I don't know what to write. I don't know what to write. And sooner or later, those thoughts start popping into my head and I start free writing. It's incredibly powerful too if you do it right before you go to bed. So if you make journaling as part of your routine during that unplugging 1 hour beforehand, you can use it to just offload all of your thoughts and everything that's in your mind, of all of the things that you need to remember, anything that's worrying you. You can put all that down on paper before you go to bed. And then when you go to bed and you lay down, your mind is free and clear and you've mind dumped everything down, and it helps you to get back to, or to get to sleep. And you're less likely to wake up during the night with all those thoughts going around your brain because you've already offloaded them onto paper. So it's a great time of day to do it, is to do it just before bed as part of that nighttime routine. And that's how all of these habits are, on their own, they're all really, really good habits to adopt. But you can see by building on each other how they all fit together, and how together doing all 12 of these habits that I'm sharing over this video and the last video, by combining them and making them part of your daily and weekly routines, that's how everything becomes a lot less stressful and a lot more enjoyable, and life becomes easier to manage, and you start to feel like the best version of yourself, because they all work together to help you create that life that you don't want to take a vacation from. So if you do want to make an improvement to your life, journaling is one of the best habits to adopt. So just set a few minutes aside each day to do it, and just write whatever comes to mind. Like I said, it might feel strange at first, yes, especially if you're not used to journaling and writing things down. But the more you do it, the easier it gets. And then at the end of the month, look back and read through what you've written, see what you've learned about yourself, and what your priorities and goals are going forwards too. Because when you're putting everything down on paper, it becomes a lot easier to see the wood for the trees, and you can actually see what you want to do and what your next steps are for accomplishing your goals. Finally, the last habit that I totally recommend adopting is practicing gratitude. Practicing gratitude is an incredibly powerful habit. It's quick, it's easy to do, but it really does help you to become the best version of yourself and actually love your life a whole lot more, so much faster. Because when we practice gratitude, we realize that life isn't as bad as we might think. Sure, we might be going through difficult times and having difficult or stressful things going on, but practicing gratitude makes us realize that we already have so much more to be thankful for, and that we're already far richer than we thought as well. And it makes us realize that being rich isn't just about having money in the bank, it's actually the things that are around us and the people that matter to us most, and actually having them in our lives, and how them being around and our environment and how we are living enriches our lives too. It makes us realize that it's not what, but who we have around us, and the time that we spend with them matters. Practice gratitude regularly and you'll become much more appreciative of life. You'll find that you'll want for less and you're far more content with the things that you already have, which is how it makes us very quickly feel a lot more contented with life, because we realize that we already have as much as we need. We might want other things, but we don't necessarily need them. And we realize that we already have a lot to be thankful for. So, new to practicing gratitude, how do you do it? My super easy way is to just simply write down 3 things that you are grateful for every single day. And that can be in the morning as part of your morning routine when you first get up, or it can be before you go to bed last thing at night, and you can use it to reflect upon your day and pick out the things that you are most thankful for that happen to you or around you during your day. So there you go. 6 more habits to help you make life less stressful and more enjoyable, so that you can become your best self and live your best life. Pick a couple that you'd like to try. Then when they become a habit, add a couple more. So let's look at them again. Make your own well-being a priority and don't feel guilty about doing it, because you deserve it. 2, track your spending. 3, cook your meals from scratch. 4, unplug 1 hour before bed. Find other things to do that is not using electronic devices and sitting in front of the TV. 5, journal. And 6, practice gratitude. Now you know which habits to adopt to improve your life, it's time to take action. You know I'm all about taking action, not just watching videos, not just reading personal growth books, but actually doing the things that you are reading or hearing about, and stepping out and taking those first steps to live a more intentional life so that you become your best self and live your best life. Which habit are you going to adopt first? Which new habit that I have mentioned is going to have the biggest impact in your life? That's the one that you want to start with. Let me know in the comments which one it is, and then come back and let me know how it goes. And if this video has inspired you to take action to start making a change for the better right away, I have put together a free quick start guide that you can use to help up-level your life. And it is a whole lot easier than you might think. You'll find the link for this down below. And if you'd like support from other women who, just like you, are working to become their best selves and live their best lives, come and join the Simple and Contented Life Facebook group. It is my absolute favourite place to hang out by far, and I can't wait to see you inside. In the meantime, I'll see you in the next video.